There's, of course, someone who lost out on the position of Speaker to Thoko Didiza. That's the EFF's Veronica Mente, and Bulelani Philip is on standby with her. Bulelani?
Well, thank you so much once again, and a warm welcome at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. Round one is down and it's two more to go. Of course, just a short while ago, the results for the election of the Speaker were announced. ANC MP Thoko Didiza was duly elected, receiving 284 votes out of 341 votes cast. And the EFF's Veronica Mente received 49 votes. Of course, 9 of those votes also were spoiled. Of course, she now joins me in her capacity as the EFF as national chairperson. Ma'am Mente, thank you so much again for joining us. Firstly, we'll come to the issue of the results in a short while. Yesterday, the EFF leader said the EFF will be toning down in this 7th parliament. Give us a sense what informed that strategy.
Thank you very much, Philip, for having us. The strategy is based on intensifying the oversight mechanism and exploring more and focusing more in terms of deepening the oversight in Parliament, because if ever you would know that when we disrupt Parliament, in fact protesting in Parliament, we are easily taken out, and after being taken out we get subjected to sanctions, we get subjected to suspensions, we get subjected to salaries being taken away. Mind you that salaries of public representatives in the EFF are the salaries that help us to be mobile in order to go and attend to our constituencies, in order to work on the ground, in order to attend to the people, and also assist us to get to every place that no one gets to, because only the EFF people they call to come and assist them with their daily issues. And whenever government is failing, people only call for the EFF. You know, we have a GPV desk and a labor desk, so we do those things, all of us, as much as we have designated people that are operating in those two desks. But every public representative becomes a GPV coordinator, becomes a labor desk coordinator, and you are equally the servant of the people. So when we get subjected to such sanctions that are unfair, and with the court ruling of the Western Cape, we saw it fit that we need to now explore other means of oversight and deepening it. But it does not mean that the radical side of the EFF is going to go away. You are not.
That's the point I'm trying to come to. Will we see a more subdued EFF caucus?
Not at all. Radicalism is going nowhere. We are now going to be more deeper in terms of the oversight. However, no one must ever think they're going to push the EFF and the EFF is not going to react. That must never be made a mistake, and it must never be confused. We are not going to be a grass mat. No one is just going to walk all over us. What we are saying is that we are going to explore much more ways that are going to help us to get the executive to account, to get the parliament to do its primary duty of passing the laws, to make sure that we are putting the laws, we are repealing the apartheid laws, we are also serving our people, and we make sure that the budget serves our people.
And just with regards to the issue of the Government of National Unity Agreement that has been announced earlier today, why is the EFF choosing to stay out of it?
Philip, it's really no rocket science. You sit in a cabinet, you come with a Section 25 amendment that the land must be given to the people in order to industrialize, in order for people to build their own businesses, in order for young people to start having saloons, car washes, and start their small businesses. If that is not going to happen, and you are going to a cabinet of the DA, do you think the DA is going to allow you? And when you go to the cabinet, you get sworn into secrecy that you cannot divulge the information that is discussed within the cabinet space. So when you get defeated there by the DA and the ANC, and you are an EFF person, you can't go out there and claim to the people that no, that was not my position. You are going to be part of. So we will never be part of the people of the pact that seeks to bring back the imperialist and the colonization system that is going to deepen the crisis that we are in today. Because unemployment is a creation of the last 30 years pact with the DA and the ANC, wherein we were subjected to the IMF and the World Bank loans that are senseless, baseless, that don't take us anywhere. They don't create employment. The latest are the Midupis loans and all of that. What employment came out of that? Instead, we got systems that they wanted to enforce through the coal mines, that we must stop the coal. The coal is the one that is endangering our environment, which is not true. If it wasn't for certain members of the ANC that fought through that and all the left movements to say, no, that's not going to happen because that's where our people are working. So we must be part of such things. We are not going to.
But are you not persuaded by the issue of national interest in terms of bringing stability to what is already a fragile election outcome?
It is a fragile election outcome. However, the ANC is still in majority. Our people, when they want to cripple the ANC, they must just cripple the ANC. Because remember, we came to this parliament, we were subject of violence, bringing up all the wrong things that Ramaphosa is doing. Pala, people saw it. People, they just looked at it and they said, no, it's okay. Let him come back with all his scandals. All the corruption we were exposing, everything else that we worked on in the parliament, we came back with all the resolutions of parliament, the section 25, which was a resolution of the House. They came back to say, nope, and about 362 said, nope, we are not agreeing. Now we must be part and parcel of that. But people of South Africa, if they really want to see a change in South Africa, they must decide who must govern them.
Let's talk to the outcome of the election of the speaker. Will Togo Didiza make a good speaker?
We trust that she would. We've been with Togo. We found her in this parliament in 2014. She hasn't been a very bad person. She has her flaws. However, she has been progressive in one way or the other. She has been a minister of agriculture and land reform. We would, one more time, I interacted with her. We didn't have problems. We trust that she's going to do the right things. She's going to be a neutral speaker. She's going to drive the interests of the people. She's going to make sure that oversight is carried through. She's going to make sure that the executive is accountable. She's going to make sure that the laws are drafted by Parliament. And she's going to make sure that she looks after all of us as members of Parliament, not a certain few of the people.
The DA contesting the position of the Deputy Speaker as well as the ATM. Of course, given the numbers that we've seen in the outcome of the Speaker's election, the chances are that the Dr. Anneli Lotriet might win that position, the Deputy Speaker's position. For her, your observation working with her over the years, do you think that she will be able to complement Togo Didiza?
Not at all. What does she represent? That's the question everyone else must ask themselves. What does she represent? She's far different from Togo Didiza. What does she represent? Who is she? Where does she come from? She represents a party that stands here and says, students, the NSFAS must be stopped. It must be a loan from the banks. Who owns the banks? It's them. So now young people of South Africa that must go to school, they must go and borrow money from white people in order for them to qualify to get a quality education in our systems. How many children now are going to afford to go to university if even the NSFAS gets scrapped? Because that's the policy that they are bringing. These are the same people that say they are not anywhere being equal to the white people. Lotriet represent inequality. One thing that white people in South Africa don't want is black people being equal to them, is black people being in business that are progressive and they can have prosperity of their own without white people. Lotriet represent a madam in the house where they must be sending garden boys and kitchen girls. That's what they represent. So there's nothing different that she's going to bring here. If she wins, which I hope she doesn't, if she wins, then we know that South Africa is gone, and we know who sold South Africa. It would be the ANC, because the ANC didn't field any candidate. meaning which the ANC is going to vote with the DA. With the speaker, the demonstration that was there already for everyone to read is that we received our 49 votes, we received our caucus votes, we received the left movements, UDM, ATM, Al-Jama votes. We voted for the progressive left movement. We voted for our people. We came here to fight for our people. If ever it means we have to sit in the opposition benches, we are going to sit in the opposition benches and we're going to hold them accountable.
Okay, let's leave it there. We're out of time. Thank you so much. Veronica Mente is the national chairperson of the EFF.